Hello, beautiful. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Evelyn, and this week's video is going to be a little bit different. I don't know if I'm going to continue with these types of videos. They might have to go to monthly instead of a weekly. I don't know. It just depends, I guess, on what you all are interested in as you hear me share my story. But this week, I wanted to share my journey so far on the GLP-1 medication, compounded semaglutide. In my experience thus far, I just finished my 13th week of it. And because I don't like to have to fast forward through videos, I like to do stuff up front. My starting weight was 204, 205. My current weight is 193 as of this morning. And my goal, I used to have a number for weight, but I no longer have a weight loss goal. I have a body fat goal. And so my goal for, ultimate goal for body fat is 29%. Okay, so how did I even get to this point? How did I even decide that I wanted to go down this route? Well, first, like I never really been a person like that took prescriptions at all, like not birth control, not anything. I'm just kind of like I'm not necessarily a what you call naturopath, I think it's what they're called, where you do everything nature's way. That's not me, because that'll be a lie. But I definitely would say throughout the course of my adult life, I've tried to limit the types of prescriptions or medications that I ingest. And the reason why my mind changed with this one is because I just found it increasingly hard to get to my goals. Now, a lot of that had to do with my diet, of course, because that's the majority of your weight loss. And then excess drinking. And when I say excess drinking, it's shameful to admit, but it is true. Enjoying cocktails way too much, wine way too much, um, champagne way too much. Um, and all this time, like even before I started GLP-1 in August, I was working out. Like I've always been a person to work out, mostly for stress. Like I just feel good after I work out. So never had an issue there, but just getting that food dialed in has always been the thing. And I will say in recent years, I'm 46 now. Some of you might know from my other videos. And, things get a little bit harder to move and shift as you age. And so I had watched, when I tell you countless, countless, countless hours of YouTube videos about GLP-1 medication, the pros and cons, the benefits of them, not the consequences, the side effects, potential side effects, and things of that nature. And so I have been considering it for a minute, but it was the question of, could I afford it or not? Thankfully, I was able to locate primary care physician's office here that offers this side of healthcare, wellness and weight management is a part of their programming. So I know a lot of people use the virtual interfaces to get their medication. I don't. I actually go to see my doctor once every 6 weeks to check in, make sure that everything is going okay. I have to do the in-body scan. I'll try to find a picture online and insert it here of an in-body scan that shoots out, my results of where my muscle percentages, my body fat percentages, and that's how she keeps track with my progress. So far, I will say that I've been losing about a pound a week, which lines up right if you do the math with the starting weight of 204, 205, and then my weight as of today, November 8th, which is 193. Now, I will say at my first 6 week, or maybe it was my second 6 week check-in, I was frustrated because all the videos that I watched, it seemed to have been that other ladies were losing way more than that, like 20 pounds in a month, 40 pounds, in 2 months, stuff like that. Honestly, I was frustrated because I was like, man, 1 pound a week, can I just be doing this by myself and do it and getting the same results? And the truth of the matter is that yes, probably so, But what I will tell you that is a significant difference in this medication is you really truly like don't think about food like that. You may have heard the phrase or the words food noise. Like you don't be thinking about it like that. Like you truly are just eating to live. Especially if you're following, a proper diet that has enough protein and fiber and, all the nutrients that you need. So for me, having that quieted down has been really the key. I will say like it really took for me to start seeing a difference. It took until probably the 12th week, I want to say, is when I really started to notice a shift and a change in like how my clothes were fitting, even though the scale was moving slow. But a good portion of that is because I have been lifting more and more and more. I'm on the bench press, squats, lunges, on the stairmaster now, which sidebar. The Stairmaster is really one of the most underutilized pieces of gym equipment and all of the cardio equipment at the gym. And I understand why. Because the first time I got on there, because I had been avoided, I'm a treadmill girl, and I had been avoiding and I got on there and I was really surprised at how winded I became. But I've learned since from watching other YouTubers um, that you got to just keep pressing through. You know what I'm saying? Until you can conquer it. So I'm talking about level one where your pace be like boom, 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 boom. That jump was hard for me. It's not hard for me anymore. I'm on level three now, but it's definitely been a journey, as they say. The other piece that I want to say about my journey that I noticed so far is that I haven't told anybody. I literally just told my husband this morning because I knew I was going to do this video and he watches my videos, so I had to tell him. And it was weird how it came up because he was looking at some stuff on his phone and he was like, I guess these injections, I guess that's the way it's going to go. I guess that's what people own. But I'm just wondering, you know, basically essentially alluding to how sustainable it was. And I was just kind of looking. And then I was like, well, I'm a fan. I like it. I like GLP-1s. And then he was kind of like, huh? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, I'm on it. He was like, you own it. And I'm like, yeah, how long you been on it? And I'm like, since August. And so that leads me to the next topic that I want to tell you is that he was like, well, why come you didn't tell me? And I was like, I didn't tell you because I didn't want what I'm getting right now, a whole interview, a whole commentary about what you think when it's my decision. And that cascaded into a whole quick laughing episode about some other things. And basically, what it came down to is when I make up my mind about something, whether it's a major decision I'm about to make, or an action that I'm about to take, period. I typically don't tell people. Now, I usually will tell Marlon, but this one, because I didn't want to hear the noise, I really truly didn't. I just wanted to just go dark essentially and like focus in on it, love him to pieces, but this is what I want to do. This is what I'm seeing for myself. And then I think the other piece too that comes to my mind is that I was a little bit not shamed because I definitely like one of my favorite channels on here to watch their journey of becoming Bianca. She's one of my favorites. And I think it's Becoming Bianca. But her name is Ebony. But anyways, I was like, man, it's so encouraging to see people sharing their story. But I was still honestly like reluctant because, you don't want to feel like how can I say this? Even though I know that it's a tool and you still have to do the work, other people don't see it that way. You feel what I'm saying? And so I was really reluctant. And even now, like, yeah, I had to tell Marlon today, but I'm really not going to be broadcasting about what I'm doing, what I'm on and stuff. Because, I mean, if somebody asks, I'm going to tell them the truth. But I'm not because I don't need anybody sabotaging anything I got going on. And frankly, it's my business, and that's the way I'm handling it. I like the way I feel so far. I haven't had any side effects for the most part. I think I've experienced constipation maybe two times, maybe, and that's kind of pushing it. Um, I do have a healthy diet. My doctor wanted me to stay between 12 and 1400, but 1200 is just far too low. I probably could have lost more weight, but 1200 calories is just too low. I found for myself, I'm not comfortable there, so I tend to be between more like 14 and 1600 calories per day. And she wanted me to stay within, as far as protein, 65 to 85 grams, 65 minimum. And hopefully I said that right, 65 grams, and I believe I did. And so I've been able to do that through protein shakes and through lean meats too. And then I think the other piece too that I wanted to say is that another reason why I wanted to talk about this on my channel is because I was trying to find people who like had my build, like my body makeup. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pear shaped. So essentially like I hold all my weight below the waist. So, your backside or your asset, your hips and thighs, that's where the bulk of the weight is held on me. And I'm smaller up top. And then my waist to hip ratio is very great. So one person might look at me and be like, girl, what is you doing? Why do you don't really need this? But it really don't matter what other people think. It really is how I think. And I have a goal. I've had this same goal on my vision board for a long time. I'll take a picture of the picture that's on my vision board and insert it somewhere that you can see here. But and it's been on there. And this is the body that I desire is a body that I've never seen before. So my mind shifted and kind of like, well, if I have other tools and resources that's available to me to help me get that, knowing that I'm still going to have to put in the work, then guess what? That's what I'm about to do. So that's the path that I'm on. And, like I said, I feel good. I haven't had very many at all. I get tired sometimes, but honestly, I think that's mostly just due to, monthly, menstruation time where it's typically I'm more tired than I am. I work out 4 to 6 times a week. This past month, it's been more like 4 to 5 times a week. But before that, I was working out 5 to 6 days a week because the weather was better. Right now, we're in snow season in Colorado, so that shifts my workout plan a little bit. But thankfully, we do have dumbbells and stuff in the basement. And so far, my adult life has been a size 14, which is something that I've maintained. But ultimately, I think size wise, would love to get down to a size 8 or a size 10. The smallest I think I've ever been in my adult life is 168, and that was maybe for one day. And I was still a size 12 at 168. And again, it largely has to do with, my thighs and hips and stuff like that. So really focusing more on leaning out this time and maintaining, for the rest of my life. Um, Marlon was asking me this morning, he was like, I mean, is it something that you're going to have to do for the rest of your life? And I'm like, no, that's not the ultimate goal for me, is to be on it for the rest of my life. But definitely I'm going to use it to leverage and get to where I need to be. And then, and working with my doctor and how my body changes over the next, several months, I'll make a decision at that time. But for right now, it's just putting one foot in front of the other, being consistent, building up that discipline, keeping up with my workouts and stuff like that. And I can honestly say that, it's been a good journey so far. And